small word on a company which was amongst the talk of town, Alex, for the whole of last quarter for upcoming competition for them.
Absolutely, and I'm glad you didn't give the name because I was going to tease it a little bit. This is a market capitalization of 2.75 lakh crore. It's a large cap stock, obviously, and it's a stock that has dropped 15.4% year to date just in 2024. And from the high, it has dropped close to 20%. It is a company, as Niraj pointed out, that has seen tremendous competition, or rather is expected to see tremendous competition in the upcoming months. And in fact, it has possibly reacted to that. But the argument that you are making on Editor's Cut today is that Asian Paints it's trading at significantly lower valuations that it has in the past. Let's talk about why, though.
Yeah, so before the why, I think the headline is that after multiple years, the growth or the CAGR growth, compounded annual growth rate, which is what a stock or a market cap or any statistic grows year after year with that base. So that's the CAGR number. I'm sure people are aware of it, but I just kind of laid it out. The PAT and the market cap CAGR performance has converged.
Okay.
And why I'm saying this, if you just look at one, of course, the chart of the last 3 years, Asian Paints has kind of flatlined. It's maybe moved around a bit, you'll see gyrations, but point to point, Asian Paints in the last 3 years has flatlined. So it's gone nowhere, right? So the market cap has gone nowhere, but there has been earnings growth, naturally so. And this is this is a bit of an anomaly for Asian Paints. It's happened for HUL, some of the IT companies back in 2010s and 2020s, but it's not quite happened for Asian Paints because it's had a glorious 2011 to 2020. Now, here's what happened. I mean, the decadal CAGR has converged. Here's what's happened. If you look at FY24 to FY14 to FY24, this is what I'm trying to say. It's nearly converged. It's not completely converged.
Yeah.
The PAT growth CAGR was 16.6%, and the market cap growth was 18%. Now,
not too far away. Yeah.
That this is normal, this is what should happen. But picture what happened until FY21, Alex. That's the key point. From FY14 to FY21, Asian Paints PAT growth was about 14 odd percent, 14 and a half. But those statistics will come up on your screen. But the market cap growth from FY14 to FY21, can we have that valuation plate on the table just to make my point? From FY14 to FY21, the PAT growth was 14.67%. The market cap growth was 24.63%.
Nearly 25%, which is incredible.
Yeah. No, I think we've got these numbers wrong. The CAGR growth number is not 18%, it's 24.63%.
Yeah, nearly 25%.
So, we got this number wrong. But be that as it may, I mean, forget the graphics, okay? The PAT growth was 14, the market cap was 24. So imagine what this 3-year flatlining for Asian Paints has done.
And the decline in the year to date as well.
Yeah, and the decline in the year to date has done to its CAGR performance on the market cap, because the PAT numbers have still remained steady. If in fact the PAT growth from 21 to 24 is much better, which is what pulls up the decadal PAT growth CAGR, right, to about 16.6 versus 14.67 in the preceding.
So what we're essentially saying is that the stock price increase has not matched the increase in the earnings and in the profitability.
Yeah, yes, and what we are saying is that maybe that was coming, because at some point of time, stocks don't grow to the trees. At some point of time, they have to kind of, revert to mean. And this is Asian Paints' reversion to mean. The actual competition came up only in Feb and March 2024. The talk of the competition being there for the last 2 years. And reasons always come out later. But stock prices tell you a story. And the stock price over the last 2 years, 2.5 years, was telling you that at some point of time, the market was saying that, hey, we can't pay such a top dollar to a company which is essentially in a commodity product.
So are we saying then, and is the argument that despite the fact that valuations have come off quite substantially, the multiples have come off, that is normal, that's par for the course, and that's something you can expect going forward as well. And possibly if you're looking at the rapid rate of growth that Asian Paints saw when it was growing very, very quickly, you would bet on a smaller player? Is that the inference?
No, so the inference, Alex, is that for the longest time, the last 2-3 years, and this is the last point here, for the longest point in the last few years, People have cribbed about the valuation excesses in Asian Paints. I think now you can argue that if you take a long time frame, then the Asian Paints valuations don't look excessively expensive because there is a PAT growth to support that 18% market cap growth.
Yeah.
It's trading at circa 40 times, which is the cheapest in the last 7, 8 or 9 years that we've seen. And the tailwinds that stay, right, for Asian Paints, the factors to watch. I mean, infra spend and the housing demand, I don't need to spell too much that. I mean, everybody and their aunt knows that. The increasing competitive intensity might impact margins. If they do, then that's a bit of a problem for Asian Paints. But valuations at 40 times 1 year forward, lowest in the last 7 years. I think that tells you now the story that the valuation excesses have been corrected seemingly. And which is what I think the Macquarie note said yesterday, which is what the Motilal Oswal note said about a week back. I think people are now finding comfort in the fact that there is a bit of a convergence in the kind of madness that we saw in the market cap coming off a little bit, and the PAT growth still staying strong.
All right, so that's the word on Asian Paints. Let us know what you think. In fact, dealer checks or not, I must say dealer checks in the sense anecdotal evidence, where we've all spoken to people and they've been very confident that nothing's going to shake the market cap or the market share for Asian Paints. That remains to be seen, however. Let us know what you think.